Yeah, I can't do that story right now. I can just live in, oh, yes. That was awesome. Thank you, Keisha. All right, so we know that they've made up there's ways of celebrating days. There's also ways of celebrating months, and I'm not gonna lie, I know that October is probably has one of the best month celebrations, month-long celebrations. You know, it's a good cause. It's incredibly sexy, I would say. Sexy, fun to check out. Yeah, that's right. Canadian Library Month, y'all. Yeah, October. Ooh, because guess what, America, we only have a week for libraries. That does not make, boo! They're already taking our books. Seriously. Oh God, we're not getting into that right now, but what we can do though is we can continue celebrating. Well, also there's October is of course National Mental Health Awareness Month. I wanted to raise a glass to that. Also, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. I know, it's big, it's pink. And Black Cat Awareness Month. Cheers, cheers, cheers to all that. That's right. That's right. Sometimes they're so fluffy. Let's get this next story going. We've got, oh yes, that's why I mentioned the cats. Schrödinger's Toast, written by Daniel Oliver and read by new reader, Chet Farmer. Bring him to the stage. Hey!
I can't believe she skipped my favorite October holiday. It was my anniversary last weekend. And that's my wife right there, so. I'm taller than Blair. How are we? We good? Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses in celebration of... Wait. No. You shouldn't raise your glasses for this. It doesn't feel appropriate. Put them back down. Or you know what? Raise them, but do it solemnly. Raise your glasses like you're celebrating something you're not sure you should be happy about. Like half-mast? Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to half-mast. No. That doesn't feel right either. I'm sorry, I know this is confusing. Maybe I should come back up a little and give some context. I saw a dead body last week. Wait. Let me back up a smidge further. Last Thursday, I was driving home from work. It was rush hour, and I was slow rolling my way down the freeway. I was in the middle of deluding myself that I could be the sixth member of NSYNC when I drove into the scene of an accident. The accident had literally just happened. I was maybe 4 or 5 car lengths behind it at the time of impact. I didn't hear it or see it. Like I said, I was in the middle of something. I just saw the immediate aftermath, and only a few seconds of it at that. I tried to take in as much as I could without rubbernecking and, causing another accident. So what I did see was stolen in quick glimpses. The worst of it seemed to involve 2 motorcycles. There were other cars already parked on the shoulder, but I didn't see any notable damage to any of them. The motorcycles, on the other hand, were fucked. They were lying in a heap together, and both were on fire. 30 yards past the mangled motorcycles, I saw a guy in a red t-shirt running down the shoulder of the freeway. He was running towards the bikes and towards one of the motorcycle riders, lying motionless in the middle of the exit ramp. My first thought was that the rider was dead. Dead people are renowned for not moving, and this guy was fantastic at that. There were other people already out of their cars and huddled on the shoulder. All I could see was the rider, but no one was rushing to help him. That made me think he had laid down there just as I rolled up, probably after stumbling away from the burning motorcycles, I was starting to think he wasn't dead. Having a shitty day, sure, but dead? I started building a mental catalog of good and bad signs. It was rush hour traffic. No one was moving faster than 5 or 10 miles an hour at the time they wrecked. That was a good sign. But then again, 5 to 10 miles an hour is pretty fucking fast when you don't have the luxury of a metal cocoon separating you from the concrete. That was a bad sign. The people huddled on the shoulder didn't seem hysterical. I think I remember reading somewhere that corpses can often make people uncomfortable, sometimes even emotional. The people I saw seemed frazzled and annoyed at most. That was a good sign. And it made me feel most at ease, too. Studying the way that people react to events is one of the best ways to engage the severity of said event. I felt confident. He was injured, but otherwise alive. I was thankful for that. I was more thankful I wouldn't have to grapple with the moral justification of screeching my way through a chorus of bye, bye, bye while slow rolling past someone's son lying dead in the middle of the freeway. I stole one more glance at the rider. He was still in the same spot and really fucking good at not moving. It was a bad sign. Although, he was wearing a helmet that covered his whole head. That was a good sign. The best sign, really. If anything made me sure he was alive, it was the fact that he was wearing a helmet. But it also meant I couldn't see his face. I couldn't see if his eyes were open, and I couldn't see if he was talking to Red Shirt, who had reached him by this point and was now kneeling next to him. Eventually, the flow of traffic pushed me past the point of being able to see anything more, and the whole scene slowly dipped beneath the horizon in my rearview mirror, leaving me no choice but to use my imagination to construct a theory of what happened based off the limited evidence I had observed. I don't think he was dead. I don't think the traffic was moving anywhere fast enough to be fatal. I think he wasn't paying attention and accidentally rear-ended his buddy on the other bike ahead of him, who I'm guessing was Red Shirt. I think he broke a foot or an ankle or maybe a leg. After that, I bet he stumbled away from the burning motorcycles and fell in the middle of the exit ramp, unable to walk, likely in shock, while Red Shirt ran to ask for help. I'll bet he was thankful to be alive. I bet he felt like he was given a second chance at life. I bet as he watched the flames lick at the heel of his boot, unsure if the heat was from the fire or the pain of his shattered leg, he thought about all the flowers he could have bought his ex-wife Deborah Lynn instead of that motorcycle. I bet all she ever wanted was to feel special. And all he ever cared about was himself and that damn bike. I bet he could see that now. I bet at the same time I was launching into a flawless vocal rendition of Space Cowboy, he was vowing to be a better man. Not just for Deborah Lynn, but also for their daughter, little Debbie. I bet there was a slight chance that my imagination was about to get out of control. I stopped planning Deborah Lynn and the motorcyclist rider's vow renewal ceremony and decided when I got home I was simply going to raise a drink to him instead. A toast to new beginnings. But then I kept thinking, he wasn't moving at all. I grew up with early 2000s internet. I know what a dead body looks like. And well, he did look like he could be a smidge south of alive. I didn't have all the information. All I had was a theory. I think it's the most plausible theory given what I saw, but a theory nonetheless. He could have just as realistically been weaving in and out of traffic, flew unnoticed right past me in the middle of my fucking nailing the solo, and plowed into the back of the other motorcycle, killing him instantly. Maybe he fell off his bike 100 yards behind where he ended up and cartwheeled like a rag doll right past my window, again unnoticed, to his final resting spot. Maybe he never made that vow to be a better man on account of being too dead to do such a thing. Maybe Deborah Lynn never got those makeup flowers. Maybe little Debbie never saw her paw again. The more I thought about it, the more I felt like raising a glass to honor a life taken too soon. Which is when I realized I was in a classic Schrödinger situation. I was Schrödinger. The motorcycle rider was the cat. The ever-growing distance between me and the scene of the accident was the box, and the rider was doomed to exist as both alive and dead until I'm able to observe the outcome of the wreck. So I looked and looked. I searched every local news website for mention of a motorcycle accident on the freeway I was on. I found nothing. I searched TransStar, accident reports, maps, and trackers. I found nothing. I looked up HPD accident reports. I found nothing. I know I couldn't find anything because he probably wasn't dead. But probably is not certainly. There's no outcome to observe, so from a scientific standpoint, I'm unable to draw a conclusion. According to Schrödinger's theory, from my perspective, that rider survived and died that day. So, how do you toast to new beginnings and a life lost at the same time? Half-mast? No, maybe you can't. Maybe there's nothing to toast in this story, except, well, ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses to helmets.